If you can dream it, it can become your reality. Welcome to Dream Catchers, where we meet entrepreneurs who have left their home country to move to Costa Rica and start a business in paradise. These are real people and their real stories behind following their dreams to a little Central American paradise and how they made it work despite the odds. Welcome to Dream Catchers Costa Rica.
Hi everyone, we're here with another episode of Dream Catchers Costa Rica. We're here today with Kata Kis, who is the owner and designer of Papaya con Leche here in Papaya, Tamarindo, Costa Rica. She's going to tell us what it took her to get to the top here in paradise.
Hi everyone, I'm Becky Clower of Blue Water Properties. Welcome to another episode of Dream Catchers Costa Rica. Today we are joined with Kata Kis, who is an amazing designer and owner of Papaya con Leche here in Tamarindo, Costa Rica. Thank you so much for joining us today.
You're so welcome.
We're excited to have you, and I have a lot of questions for you, but I want to start with the number one, which is, when did you move to Costa Rica and why?
In 1998 of April, moved here with my toddler, year and a half, to Playa Negra.
Wow.
Pulled up on our lot, no water, no electricity, and just made it work. 69 Chevy, pop-up trailer, lived on the land day one, which looking back, I'm like, really? So, it was quite adventurous, but we
Very
loved
brave.
it. We loved it. Yeah, I mean, never budged, just kind of like went for it and started building right away. But it was fun.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Can you tell me how many times you had visited Costa Rica until you made that decision to move here permanently, and why did you decide on the Playa Negra area?
I think it was twice, and it was decided for me.
Yeah.
My ex-husband, actually he's a surfer.
Okay.
And he just loved the Playa Negra wave, and that was our number one requirement
There
at
you
that
go.
point. So,
It's an important
it's beautiful.
requirement.
Well,
for many
yes,
people.
absolutely. And it was fun. I was there for 7 years.
Wow.
And actually started this very business right there, day one, not even knowing. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's an awesome story.
Mm-hmm.
So can you tell us exactly what inspired you to open up the business?
Absolutely. Well, it's kind of like I fall into a niche in a sense, because I was always making my own bathing suits, and I started making matching ones with my daughter. So it was very eye-catching. And the girls in Playa Negra, the mothers, they're like, "Where did you get that?" I'm like, "Oh, I made it." "Oh my God, I want one." So that's how it started up.
So it started
I
from
was-
home.
Well,
almost.
yeah, absolutely. It
There was
started
a
out
home
of my
business.
house, but literally day one when I got there. Didn't know what I was doing. I was just like doing it, and I'm thinking it's gonna fade out in 2 months, because actually I did come with a full business plan as to open my little ceramic studio to make limited edition handmade tiles for big projects,
Wow.
which by the way is another amazing business idea. I think it's an undiscovered market
That's
up till
amazing.
today. Yeah,
That's
so
great.
someone could run with that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Uh-huh.
Can you tell the viewers a little bit about what your business offers to
Absolutely,
consumers?
yes. Well, it's quite layered and very complex. Literally, you can walk in, and we specialize in swimwear. We do have clothes and shoes as well, but as our fitting process and customization, we have took bathing suit tailoring to a next level, because you can come in and you have several options. You can bring in your stretched out favorite, Old Faithful one. We'll copy it to the T with a new fabric. You can bring in an idea, and we go off of that. If you have no idea, we'll outline you and we'll put you in the best possible cut, because in 25 years we have quite a bit of library of tricks of the trade,
I'm sure.
piled up. And I'm really good about, like, honestly, I don't want you to walk out there with something it doesn't look good. I'm gonna tweak it until it looks really, really like to your size, very flattering. You feel comfortable and confident on the beach when you're at least dressed.
For sure.
But there's even a funny addition, like you can bring in your favorite bra and or underwear, and you can outline, like, this is my comfort zone. I would love a fitting suit like this.
Got
we
it.
can go off of that.
Which is very
as well.
unique. So it's not
Very
like
unique,
walking into
yeah.
a Target and picking
Oh,
something
no.
off. I
Well,
mean, this is custom stuff, and it's next level.
Yeah, we have off the shelf as well. And people do buy those as well. It's a different price bracket.
Sure.
Obviously, custom is always more expensive, but the outcome is like none to other. It's really
Well, it's something that sticks with you and you use.
well. My return clientele is huge.
I'm sure.
Huge. It's astonishing. Like after years and years, they're still with me because they've been like for over 2 decades, and local girls too as well.
That's awesome.
Tons. It's really fun.
Can you let us know your hours of operation for your business, and also what exactly was the thought process behind opening eventually in Tamarindo?
Absolutely. Well, our hours are grueling. It's literally, we have no days off. We are open every day of the year. Weekdays from 9 to 7 p.m.
Okay.
Weekends from 10 to 6.
Okay.
And honestly, I have a big crew of girls working with me, so we have plenty of coverage. As far as, what was the other question?
Just in terms of why you decided to bring the business to Tamarindo.
Well, because Playa Negra was a great starting ground. It was very educational and very, like, I had the luxury of growing the brand slowly, from the beginning. I guess partially because I didn't know what I was doing, so it was pretty fun. And it was a funny addition, sometimes how they say, ignorance is a blessing.
Yes.
Absolutely, it was for me, because if I would have ever done market research, which I haven't, if I knew I'm up against, Argentinian, Brazilian, Venezuelan little bikinis, which wholesales for like $7 to $8 a pop.
Yeah.
And I started wholesaling at 26. I remember the exact number, because from Playa Negra, I used to go to Nosara, and suitcase full of bikinis, and full of surf shops, full of boutiques, souvenir shops. They just bought them up, and I came back with an empty suitcase.
No way.
But I had to convince them, like, oh yeah, buy this one instead of the $8 one. But I guess my entry point of the industry was we offered different sizing.
Sure.
We offered, for girls from America who actually have the money, who come down and they need bigger sizes.
Sure.
And that was our luck, so to speak.
Well, you have amazing
in disguise.
luck. But a lot of work. It takes work.
Oh, a lot of work. I mean, it's a constant development. But I'll tell you, even this morning, I'm talking to a client. I was like, I do exactly what I want to do. I wouldn't, if you told me like do something else, like, oh, you're free to go, I'd be like, but I want to do this. I mean, this is my hobby, my passion is my moneymaker. So what's better, mix, right?
That's amazing. You've done really awesome.
Thank you.
Can you tell us a little bit about the challenges that you feel that you've encountered over time?
Okay, well, first of all, do we have time? Because this can take like hours and hours and hours.
Well, we'll do like the Cliff Notes
a little
version.
Drip. Let's do a little drip. Yes. Number one, now it's slowly getting better, is human resources, because unfortunately the local population, their level of English is not there. So it's an uphill battle to find that girl who actually can communicate. And not just like, oh, I speak English a little bit. No, you have to be fluid and inviting and welcoming in that very language, because 99.9% of our clientele is American Canadian for sure. So that was one of my number one. But through the 24 years, I had a really good set of girls working with me. So I really can't complain, but it's a search.
No,
definitely.
for
it's
sure.
A search, yeah.
I know how the human resources thing goes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And in terms of, the challenges that you've had, do you regret that you opened up your business despite the challenges, or never?
Not for a second. When I knew how much I love this business, I tell you what showed, year of 2020.
Wow.
Yeah, the pandemic. Because I was just sitting there and losing my mind, really, as to like what's going to happen, because for me, it's not just a business.
Sure.
Yes, we do make money, we do make good money, but in the same time, it's my little heart between four walls. And I was like, oh my God, will this survive? There was a lot of questions up in the air. Came back in January, and I was just like, okay, let's do this. Let's see what happens. I have to fill it out again, because to build this again from scratch, it's a long haul.
For sure.
It's a long haul.
You spent so many years building it.
Yes, and every single me. And I wasn't alone, I'm sure. People, lost their businesses, unfortunately, or just by a hair they actually hung on and revived it. But it's a big wheel to turn. But I feel it's an additional stress when it's not just like, okay, my moneymaker is gone. That's one thing, right? But when your passion and heart also goes with, then you are like left with very little like resources, in a sense, like emotional, like, oh my God, do this again. It's a tough one.
For sure. Mm-hmm. Did you ever dream that the business would be so popular?
Nope. Nope. never. No, I can't just go with it. Oftentimes astonishes me up till today.
Because everybody knows you. Everybody knows you. Everybody talks about papaya con leche. You're almost like a staple. You're almost like an address that they use. You know, like 100 metros from the papaya con leche, like the palo mango. But no, I mean, truly, people know your business and know who you are, and you have an impeccable reputation. And so I wonder also in terms of just your passion behind bringing it here and what you were thinking initially when you opened it. You said you didn't think it would be that popular, but it has.
No, I mean, I didn't think it's gonna be this, big of a business to begin with, because I was never I never went to business school, administration, all that, and so I can just improvise everything.
For sure.
And I never had a business plan, so to speak, which in certain areas it does show. Up till today we are trying to, hammer it out, here and there. But it took a life on its own, and that goes to show you the vitality of it. And it actually didn't fall apart throughout all these years, with all the trials and tribulations, and we're just learning as we go along. But yes, absolutely zero regrets. I mean, I would do the same exact thing if I had to start all over again.
That's awesome. And you also you've participated in different shows. I don't know if you can touch a little bit upon the different shows, fashion shows that you've been a part of, and fundraisers and whatnot.
Right. Well, we've done some very big ones here at Hotel Diria in the amphitheater years ago. We have actually done the very first fashion show for the opening of the recycling center. Way back when, Trash and Fashion, which people up till today, they talk about it.
Yeah.
It was such a big impact.
I was there. It was pretty awesome. Yeah.
That was, what was awesome about that one, and from my point of view, and you probably maybe vote for that since you were there, that room at one point was breathing in and out in the same exact moment. And the reason why that is because my local girls, they brought me dog bags, dog food bags, right? Empty egg cartons, milk cartons, and so when those outfits walked out, they were so connected to it, and people were so ready to receive a recycling center that that's what trickled down to people were just like, wow.
Do you think that anybody was expecting to see what was coming out on the runway?
No.
It wasn't.
Honestly, that very fashion show made it into Yahoo News. Revolving news, because
I believe it.
we had news channels out here doing actual reports on it, channel 11 I think it was, and newspapers, and we made it into there's a bucket of news of French press every day, where all other publications go in and pick out what's interesting, and I actually received, believe it or not, months later, from Canada, from France, newspapers that were actually in it with that very event. Yeah, it was quite something. Yeah,
you must have been proud. That's really awesome. Yeah. I just remember what an impactful show it was.
Well, I had an amazing help though. Petra Buthner, we actually teamed up with her, and she did wonderful pieces as well out of old bicycle tubes and old bras, and it's really offbeat, very funky stuff. Yeah, so it was so much fun. We were getting ready for over 2 months.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of time.
For instance, I remember we crocheted an entire long skirt to the ground out of used shopping bags.
Wow.
Like a nylon, plastic bags, right?
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Amazing.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about your background and how you learned Spanish and where your roots are from? So
I'm from Hungary, 100% Hungarian, and I have a theater background actually. I was a classical ballet dancer for years, and I moved out of the country, not actually, once again, had no plan to move out, and just everything just kind of happens in my life, and then go with it. And actually, well, it seems like just the third language comes easier.
Yeah.
I would say. I think probably most people can vote for that, and on top of that, it just somehow it sticks to me like dirt. It's I really like languages. I really do enjoy.
But you learned it when you came here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But then again, you know what happened? One of my girls, Lorena Gutierrez, Lorena Jessica Gutierrez Pina, she's still with me after 24 years.
Wow.
And way back when they were working with me from day one, they didn't know that they're also my Spanish teachers, you know,
Yeah.
because I learned from them.
So you learned at work.
Absolutely, yeah. Mm-hmm.
See, so they gave you a little bit of
Every day it's
lessons.
little more and a little more.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And so you came here from Hungary,
Mhm.
and you had a background in theater,
Yes.
and you got into fashion.
Right.
Yeah.
But the reason why I got into fashion because actually both my grandmothers were tailors,
Okay.
and my father also was an incredible hat maker,
Wow.
which is one of the hardest things to do as
can
far as
imagine.
like fitting your head, essentially. And I was sewing since I was little. In fact, my mom was here and my dad. She's like, honey, I can't believe I remember midnight, 1 a.m. I was still here. I'm just sewing away, and I couldn't sleep until that garment was done.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's wild. So it's
It's
obviously,
pretty funny.
from the root of everything you do, and it shows.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I just feel everything we do, it's not forced. It's, actually everything born out of passion and trying something new. A lot of experiments going on as well, as far as like with different fabrics and cuts and techniques and different approaches. And we just have so much fun with it.
Sure.
It's just like the fun of creating. There is nothing like that, that process.
I agree.
Right? Yeah. The creative process.
Yes. Okay. So we would like to know what you do when you're not working, in your free
Excuse
time,
me?
the little bit of free time that you have. Do tell.
Could you repeat that question again?
Free time. Free time.
Oh, it's a problem. I have to make myself not work.
Yes.
Like, so I have a rule now. Luckily, I have a wonderful group of friends in Playa Negra, and I remove myself from Tamarindo because if I'm here, I end up at the shop.
Yeah.
It's just already,
So you have to
it's already been
relocate
tried.
yourself. Yeah,
Absolutely,
yeah.
yeah. Because I just love what I do.
Yeah.
I really, really
Well,
do.
it's easier to unwind also and Playa Negra away from your
Yes.
business, but also just because it's such a more, rural, beautiful
Yeah,
area.
but I really need it.
Yeah.
I mean, my dear friends over there, they know it because
Yeah.
I'm kind of famous for that. It's like, okay, Kata is working all the time. Even like back when I was in Playa Negra,
For sure.
people on the beach getting tan, and I'm like, sewing away, But yeah,
wild.
it's a challenge for me to kind of break away. For
It
sure.
happens to the best of us. So
Yeah.
in terms, do you have any ideas for future expansion?
I sure do. In fact, it's happening as we speak.
Do tell.
Once again, unexpected, never planned.
You're full of surprises.
Well, life is for
Yes.
me full of surprises. Actually, I was approached by the owner of the little Centro Comercial in Villarreal
Uh-huh.
and offered me the most incredible spot in Villarreal is to take over and do an extension, sister store of Papaya con Leche. Therefore, we are continuing with another drink, throwing a little liquor in there. It's going to be called Piña Colada.
Wow.
Yes.
Amazing.
Absolutely. I was telling my friends, like, my last one's going to be called Bloody Mary.
Oh my God. But I love the name of it. I think it's really going
Right.
to be popular.
Yeah,
For
it's
sure.
it's a really fun logo, and we are very excited about it. It's a different concept, but no custom. It's going to be off the shelf only.
But still,
Yes.
I'm sure that's exciting as
Mhm.
well. I want to know how you feel you do it all. I know you said you have a big crew and people that help you, but how do you feel that you're able to accomplish that?
Well, I am an incredible multitasker, which is good and bad because a lot of medicals will tell you, like, do not multitask because you're just ripping
it's not a
yourself
thing, yeah.
apart. It's not healthy.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Simply, it's not. You should be single-minded, focused in one single thing. And I am very focused, but at the same time, I can focus on a lot of different things at the same time. But it's, catching up to me, to be honest. I get really tired once in a while, just like, whoa, just ringed out, done for the day. But I still love it. So next morning I wake up and do it again,
For sure.
Yeah.
So now, so many years later here in Costa Rica, do you feel that it's better to live here than it was when you first moved here? I know there's obvious things like better internet and cable and whatnot, but what do you feel about living here now versus when you first moved here?
Same exact feeling. In fact, if anything, it grew.
Yeah.
I think Costa Rica is incredibly special. You only know that when you go home to reality,
Yeah.
in a sense, either going to the States or let alone Europe. It's just incredibly, just incredibly free, and you can invent yourself. You can start things you would never imagine back home because you couldn't cut through all the red tapes that perhaps here it's much easier. Like, for instance, you can become a real estate agent without a license,
Exactly.
right? And for now, I mean, that's good and bad,
Yes,
obviously,
yes.
because we do need some guidelines and parameters for everything.
sure.
But I think somebody who has a little bit of business sense, it's a wide open field. And I think the best thing someone can do is, let's say they moved in and they don't know what they want to do, observe the place and see the whole, see what's missing, you know, instead of like doing the same thing like everybody else, because then just oversaturating the market. It
For sure.
happens as well.
Absolutely.
That happens as well. Yeah.
So tell us about who you feel is your shining star in Papaya con Leche. Who's behind putting together your suits and your designs?
Oh my lord, my right and left hand, Lorena. Yeah, she's been with me from the very beginning.
And
over
she's from
2
here.
decades. She's from here.
Yeah.
She's been with me for 23 years,
Wow.
and
That's
she
loyalty.
didn't. Absolutely. Well, we've been through thick and thin. Let me
That's
tell you. She did not know where is the front of a sewing machine when she started sewing. I taught her, you know, the whole loops, and now she just outdone
She's
me
a pro.
any given day. She can copy your suit, you know, without taking it apart. I mean, really complex, complicated folds and underwire, and really like your most complicated things she can easily replicate, or we go from scratch and then I design and outline everything. And our synergy in throughout all these years are half words and little scribbles on a paper, and we understand each other incredibly well.
That's wild.
Yeah,
That's
she's
awesome.
wonderful. She's not really an employee. She's a family.
Yeah.
You know,
No,
after all these
obviously.
years, yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like she's right behind you. With
Yeah, we
everything.
always joke like we should look for like a little parcel in a cemetery and have us, you know, buried next to
Headstones
each other. You know.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
No, that sounds amazing. Well,
Yeah.
I'm really impressed by the business you've put together, the passion you have behind it, the charisma, and just, you know, everything that you've done, and the impeccable reputation you have. And you've done amazing things, and I want to thank you again for joining us.
Thank
on
you
Dream
so
Catchers.
much.
Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Please like us, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we hope to see you for the next episode, and we hope that you'll be back.
Absolutely.
Thanks.